Welcome to our few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos in Chutz La'aretz, we have the privilege of reading Parshas B'Haaloscha. There's a confluence of the Parsha and today's Daf Yomi, Shabbos, Daf Tzadik Vav, which discusses what happened at the end of the Sedra when Miriam started speaking about Moshe in the most innocent fashion, not intending at all to say Lashon Hara, and yet that is the quintessential example that the Torah gives us about Lashon Hara, even though she meant absolutely only for the best interests of her brother and her sister-in-law. Nevertheless, the Torah treated it very seriously, and she spoke Lashon Hara, and immediately the Torah tells us, V'hinei Miriam mitzoras kasholeg. Miriam, because of her speaking Lashon Hara, was immediately struck with the punishment of tzoras. Now, most of us, when we hear about tzoras, we tend to translate it as leprosy. But the fact is, it is not at all leprosy. Leprosy is a progressively debilitating physical disease which ends in blindness, body parts being disintegrated, and death. While tzoras, it goes away hopefully in a week. As soon as the Lashon Hara is no longer spoken, as soon as the person does a tshuva, immediately the tzoras goes away, and you don't go to a doctor for tzoras. Instead, you go to the Kohen, who looks and analyzes. And the concept of going to the Kohen, of course, is that the Kohen, Aaron HaKohen, is the Ohev Shalom V'Rodev Shalom, as the Mishnah says. He is the one who loves peace and pursues it. And Lashon Hara is anything but bringing peace. It causes strife. We're not going to go into the details of exactly what happened here, but I'd like to make note of one very interesting point. When Moshe Rabbeinu prays that Miriam be healed, and as we've spoken, this is not a physical disease. In fact, Rav Hirsch says that tzoras is a physical manifestation of a spiritual malaise. There was a Torah concept that was being denied or shunted aside, but it manifested itself in a physical way. And so when Moshe prays for Miriam, he uses the following terminology: Kael no, merciful God, please, Refono lo, heal her now. Please heal her now. Heal her. And when I think about what Moshe was asking was, what do you mean heal her? She can't be healed. There's nothing physically to be healed. Why was Moshe praying heal her? It's going to take a week anyway until the tzoras goes away. Within the span of a week, as we know that the punishment of tzoras is 7 days, as long as the person does tshuva and is healed. So why is he praying she should be healed? I think, and I'd like to propose, that the concept of healing isn't only of a physical nature, but the concept of the healing is the healing of the spirit, healing of the neshama. When we think about praying for someone who's ill, we're not only praying for the physical illness to be removed, but we're also praying that the person get a spiritual uplift, that they, if necessary, do tshuva. If necessary, that the prayers we say for them takes them out of the physical punishment due to the spiritual malaise. Moshe Rabbeinu is coming to Hashem and he's saying, Keilna, Refonola, heal her. Heal Miriam. And therefore, when we say in the Shmona Esrei, Hashivenu Avinu L'Sorah Secha, return us, our Father, to your Torah. V'achazirenu b'tshuva shalema lefanecha, and return us with a full tshuva, a repentance. What we're praying for is our spiritual increase, to be followed later on by the bracha of Rifa'enu Hashem v'nei rafei, heal us, Hashem, and we will be healed. Because the first step in our development has got to be that we recognize that we're both a guf and a neshama. And as soon as we begin to heal our neshama, we hope and pray that the physical healing will follow. Maybe the difficulties we find ourselves in now are not only a physical virus. Maybe there's a little bit of a virus or a virus. Maybe there's a little bit of some tshuva that's needed in these times. Maybe instead of just recognizing that we need to pray for the physical, and we certainly do, we certainly need to pray for the physical well-being of all who are ill. But let's not forget that we need also to recognize the need for a spiritual healing, which Moshe prayed for Miriam. Physically, it was going to take a week no matter what. What he prayed for was her spiritual well-being. That's the way we're supposed to look at helping other people, not only through their physical illness, but also to enable them to grow and to become spiritually well. Neshama. That's why we say, Refuas HaNefesh or Refuas HaGuf. A healing of the soul and a healing of the body. Parshas Shlach, that follows this, also speaks about the concept of the Lashon Hara, which some of the people didn't learn from. But here in B'Haaloscha, we're told that when Moshe Rabbeinu prays for her spiritual well-being, it's in order to enable us to achieve a physical healing, a refuas hanefesh and a refuas haguf. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.